Welcome to the channel. In the quiet valleys nestled between majestic mountains and endless stretches of dense forests lay the village of Greendale, a serene haven where humans and wildlife once shared their lives in harmony. For generations, villagers tended to their fields, harvested timber sustainably, and respected the unspoken boundaries set by nature. This balance, fragile yet enduring, seemed eternal. But beneath the surface, tranquility brewed an unseen paradox. The inevitable tension between the boundless ambition of humanity and the primal rights of wildlife. The first signs of imbalance emerged subtly. Settlers, attracted by Greendale's pristine landscapes and fertile grounds, began arriving in ever-increasing numbers, each new wave bringing aspirations of growth, wealth, and modernity. Land that once belonged to wild animals transformed swiftly into human settlements. Meadows vanished beneath sprawling homes, concrete roads split ancient forests, and once abundant wildlife corridors turned into isolated islands. Slowly, quietly, the wildlife responded, driven by necessity into confrontations they never sought. It began with minor inconveniences: a fox sneaking into a chicken coop, raccoons tipping over garbage bins, deer nibbling gardens at twilight. Initially, villagers saw these encounters as mere annoyances, issues easily remedied by simple deterrence. But the pressures mounted. Displaced and hungry animals grew bolder, moving closer to human habitation. Fear gradually seeped into the hearts of the villagers, coloring every shadow, every rustle in the darkness. Tensions erupted openly when wolves, symbols of wilderness itself, began appearing frequently around farms, their chilling howls haunting the villagers' sleepless nights. Farmers who once tolerated wildlife became fiercely protective, urging decisive action against what they perceived as an escalating threat. Arguments arose, splitting neighbors, friends, and families into opposing sides, each convinced of their righteousness. At the center of this brewing storm stood Eleanor, a wildlife biologist who had dedicated her life to conserving Greendale's biodiversity. Understanding both the villagers' fears and the animals' desperation, Eleanor tirelessly mediated, educating the community on sustainable coexistence. Her voice, though powerful, often felt drowned amid the rising clamor of panic and anger. One harrowing evening, Eleanor received an urgent call. The Miller family's livestock had been attacked. Racing there, her heart broke at the sight of an injured calf and furious villagers holding torches, ready for vengeance. They spoke of tracking and killing the wolf responsible. Eleanor pleaded earnestly, "Violence won't end this conflict. It will deepen it. These animals are suffering, pushed to their limits. The solution lies in understanding, not bloodshed." But her words fell on deaf ears. Driven by rage and fear, the villagers disappeared into the night, intent on their grim task. Eleanor's efforts intensified over the following weeks. She proposed fences, wildlife corridors, and education programs, advocating tirelessly for coexistence and non-lethal management strategies. However, suspicion and mistrust had taken root deeply, poisoning the once peaceful atmosphere. Friendships fractured, families divided, and a dark cloud of fear enveloped the village. Winter descended fiercely upon Greendale, bringing harsh, punishing storms that isolated the village further. Amid one particularly severe blizzard, Eleanor ventured deep into the forest, searching for an injured lynx. Lost, exhausted, and nearly frozen, she stumbled upon a secluded cave, seeking refuge from the brutal storm. Inside, she discovered not safety, but a shocking encounter. The very wolf the villagers had hunted relentlessly, wounded and weak, watching her warily from the shadows. The stark irony struck Eleanor profoundly. There, face to face with the supposed monster, she saw only vulnerability, a victim of the human world, encroaching relentlessly into wild territory. Driven by compassion, she cautiously offered the wolf food from her emergency supplies. After a tense pause, the wolf approached hesitantly, accepting her offering. For hours, Eleanor shared warmth and quiet solidarity with the creature she had desperately tried to save. Returning to Greendale after the storm, Eleanor passionately recounted her transformative experience, challenging villagers to reconsider their actions and attitudes. Her heartfelt testimony began shifting perspectives. Gradually, anger softened into understanding, fear into empathy, and suspicion into cooperation. Community members began planting native trees, creating safe passages for wildlife, and committing anew to sustainable living. The paradox was not resolved, but acknowledged, respected, and carefully managed. Years later, Greendale stood as a powerful symbol of coexistence, a testament to the complex relationship between humanity and